Good evening, good morning. Welcome very much from wherever you're watching us from. This is Diplomacy Unscripted. We want to welcome you to the show. Today we have an exciting guest on set, and we're going to be discussing matters, global priorities, foreign policy, political parties in Kenya and beyond, and also discussing matters, global affairs, especially because our guest is quite vast on some of these issues. The other thing that I would like to bring to our attention is that this is a very sad day for Kenya because we have lost the former, allow me to call him the late, I'm still unable to get used to this, the late Right Honorable Raila Odinga, who is an enigma in Kenya politics. I will not say was because it still is. He lost his life due to an illness, and we do wish the family, our deepest condolences. Yeah, so we start on a happy note, Mweshimiwa.
Yes.
But it's also a sad note.
Really sad. Really sad for the nation. And indeed, our sincere, heartfelt condolences to his family.
Yeah.
And the entire nation. Actually, the entire nation is really seriously and deeply grieving. We've seen, as I was traveling here, the reactions that are panning out, because actually people are literally on the streets.
Wow.
There are a number of streets that are closed. I know as we speak, currently the Kisumu CBD is occupied. No one, I hear business are not running. And in Migori, people are mourning in the streets.
In Homa Bay.
In Homa Bay,
Yeah.
Roads are closed. Here in Nairobi, Kibera Ngong Road apparently is affected.
Yeah.
In Kariadudu, people are out in the streets. It has gone all the way up to Allsops in Thika Road. And it's a serious moment for Kenyans, and we've lost, yes, an enigma, because Raila and Kenya, especially Kenyan democracy, were synonymous. I've always said that change is spontaneous, and in spontaneity of change, actually you would not remove Raila from the equation. Raila is among the second generational reformists.
Yeah.
Who had driven Kenya away from the colonial one-party capture. It was a serious period that they lived in. The one-party system could not tolerate any other view or any other objection that was not of KANU. And Raila, through his father, they championed the formation of KPU. And because of the formation of KPU, they were detained.
What did KPU stand for, the party?
Kenya People's Union.
Kenya People's Union.
Right.
Mheshimiwa, allow me to slow you down a bit, and I see how you just dived right into eulogizing a great man that has fallen. It is indeed a very sad day for Kenya, and I actually just realized that I did not introduce you properly.
Yes.
Go
ahead.
So to our guests, we were a bit carried away by eulogizing a great man that has fallen, a fallen soldier that I think a lot of Kenyans love and cherished and will always do. But allow me to introduce the guest on set. His name is Honorable Justice Juma. He's a party leader for the Justice and Freedom Party and also a presidential aspirant. Yes. So I think it is important that we don't miss that part.
I agree with you.
Yes.
Yes. Even as a transition from calling you the daughter of Matenda Chere.
It's granddaughter.
The granddaughter of Matenda Chere to the granddaughter of Rispa Adele.
Listen, you always call me the granddaughter of Matenda Chere.
Right.
You guy. So Matenda Chere is my step-grandma. My grandfather was polygamous.
How many wives?
Two. Just two.
Just two.
He was a lenient man.
I like
two.
the way you say two.
Just two. I mean, of course, if someone tries that in this day and age, we would be
Oh, yeah.
all up in arms.
I tell you.
I speak for myself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, but my grandfather was polygamous,
Uh-huh.
and so he had two wives,
Uh-huh.
and so the younger wife was called Matende Chere,
Uh-huh.
but my grandmother, my father's mother, was called Rispa Adeli, and my grandfather was called Otwoma.
Oh.
Yes, so these are small corrections. She's still my grandma, yes, but
Yes.
now my grandma, her name is Rispa Adeli. May her soul rest in peace.
May she rest in peace.
Yeah.
And thanks for the correction. I'm sure the name Atendechere might also have confused your grandfather. No wonder
My
she
goodness.
joined
I
the list.
mean,
Thank you. Nice to
yeah.
meet you. Yes, the party leader of Justice and Freedom Party, and of course aspiring to bring a new vision in Kenyan leadership. As I mentioned earlier, I mentioned that change is spontaneous. And much as we heroize and honor the leaders, the current and past leaders, we still must move forward and understand that every generation have change demands that, as we speak, cannot actually failure to realize them can lead to a failure of an entire generation.
You see, by the way, what you say is very important because when you will look at how the Gen Zs went to the street,
Right.
it tells you that the country is boiling for change.
Exactly.
And they don't want it tomorrow, they want it now.
They want it now. And
Yeah.
the obstructions between the realization of their quest actually stands as the past or the current regimes or past leadership who have stuck on the previous, they're wallowing in the miasma of their previous achievements. And yes, at some point, Kenya was in a difficult situation, especially during the one political system, one-party state.
It was a one-party state.
And during that one-party state, Kenyatta would not hear another view. And Moi took it a step further by repealing Section 2A of our Constitution and introducing now the one-party system. And it was a challenging moment, and I think those are the things that actually crowned the people like Raila with the current enigmaism that we cannot separate from them. It is something he earned.
Yeah.
These guys were thrown into detention without trial. I remember reading his book, Flames of Freedom, and he has narrated his encounters in detention. Oh, it was very sad. It was so sad. He could imagine his experience at Kamiti and his experience at Manyani.
He was incarcerated for, was it 7 or 8 years?
Yes, more than 7 years.
Yeah.
He was in Manyani. He was
And
taken
I hear
to...
the reason why he has a problem with his eyesight is because he was kept, the way you're kept in solitude, in darkness.
Without
So by the
seeing.
time they put you into the light,
I tell
you
you.
honestly cannot function. Allow me to, I think what has happened today, of course, is unprecedented.
Definitely.
We didn't see it coming, and my heart is heavy.
Yes.
I know your heart is heavy.
Oh, yeah,
as well.
the country is mourning.
Yes, and this being diplomacy unscripted,
Right.
Our key constituents are diplomatic and foreign missions.
Yes.
And I know today diplomatic missions have joined hands with Kenya to mourn and send their condolences to the people of Kenya for losing a great leader.
Oh, yes.
Who was Raila Odinga. So some of the questions that are coming in terms of, I know diplomatic missions would want to know what did this person mean to Kenya?
Oh, yeah.
So Raila Odinga was a husband, a father,
yes,
and a father to 4 children and 5 grandchildren.
Yes.
These are the ones we know about. This is Africa, so yes, yes. But if someone was to ask us who is Baba, so Baba is a man who was very ambitious,
right?
A man who changed the political terrain, and he's known as a father of democracy, mostly because of the things that he fought for.
I link him more to reforms.
Yeah.
Yes, because the reforms that we're enjoying currently in the democratic space, he was right at the center.
He was not just a reformist. The
Mhm.
other thing we must remember
Mhm.
is Baba's push for human rights.
Definitely.
He was a serious human rights champion. And I
Yes.
remember
Mhm.
anytime there was human rights violations,
Right.
for many years, especially from when I was a little girl,
Mhm.
Raila Odinga,
Mhm.
popularly known, I personally call him Baba. Baba
Mhm.
would come
Yes.
and, step in,
Mhm.
use his political might and
Definitely.
affiliations to
Right.
push back
Mhm.
against societal ills.
Yes.
So that's another thing that I think sometimes people get too lost in the political world.
Something that brought him a lot of suffering.
Absolutely. So
Was,
he also really pushed for human rights.
Right.
When we look at the 2010 constitution,
Yes.
I remember Raila Odinga was at the forefront
Oh yeah.
in
And
championing for it. I remember from the Bowman's draft to the final draft.
yes.
And then eventually in 2010, our
Mhm.
constitution was
We
promulgated.
got a
Raila
constitution
Odinga played a very big role in
right at the
that.
center.
The other thing that he did is that Raila Odinga was a champion for human rights, democracy, and
Mhm.
reforms,
Yes.
but also he was a unifying figure.
Serious unifying factor because
Yeah.
within that, most of the contentious elections that we've gone through, and most of the Kenyan elections have remained contentious, and more so when Raila participates. And is a concession to shake hands, because he's been actually known for handshakes, which was now being stereotyped in different directions.
Actually, are you
Yes.
aware that in 2007,
Mhm.
when Raila Odinga ran against
Kibaki.
the late Honorable Kibaki,
Right.
the former president,
Mhm.
are you aware that the power sharing agreement, remember at the time, the diplomatic mission that led
Yes.
in the
Through
mediation was Kofi Annan's
exactly.
delegation.
Yes, commission.
I think at the
That-
time he was Secretary General for the United Nations,
Right.
if I'm not wrong.
Mm.
Yes. So the Kofi Annan-led delegation
Mhm.
was able to agree on a power sharing agreement.
Yes.
And guess
Which-
what?
Mhm.
From that time, Kenya had a power sharing agreement.
Yes. For
Malawi followed suit,
Oh.
and many other countries. So
Okay.
I'm just trying to show you. So as Kenyans are here, we may say what we want,
Yes.
banter, vilify, whatever.
Mhm.
We must remember Kenya is also an authority, and we
Definitely.
literally chat.
Mhm.
You know,
we clear paths. We are pathfinders for various
Exactly.
democratic studies.
Yeah.
Even globally, I think looking at Kenyan multi-party activities have actually influenced a number of countries when it comes to political deadlocks. And Raila reached out, actually shook hands with
His
Kibaki.
nemesis, yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually what led to him
I
being
think
appointed as a prime
It's
minister.
very magnanimous of him, and I
Yeah.
remember a lot of people, and I think his falling out
Mhm.
with the current president,
Yes. Ruto.
Honorable Ruto,
Right.
His Excellency,
Mhm.
was because he shook the hands.
Those
Because from
handshakes,
that time,
definitely.
that handshake,
Mhm.
that first handshake,
Yes.
decided their fate
Because
was going to.
Ruto was for blood. He wanted it either way, take the seats.
But you
And-
see now, in future,
Mhm.
they joined hands again.
Well, definitely.
So also, this is another lesson in politics. There's no permanent enemies, and this is a lesson for Kenyans
It's
as
a
well.
symbol of that. It's a symbol of that. Actually, you would pass for all the negative words. He's not a political prostitute per se, but the decisions he does make that lead him to these associations. Normally, when you look at their context, you get to respect him because shaking hands with Kibaki, by then, Kibaki had serious diehards like Martha Karua, who eventually became Raila's running mate in 2022
Yeah.
general election.
I think under Kibaki's government, she was Justice Minister, Honorable
Definitely.
Martha Karua.
Oh, serious diehard. And there were hard standards. They had very serious hard bargains.
Yeah.
When you could follow up the Kofi Annan committee and the negotiation that these individuals had, and how eventually they end up being partners to a point that they are running together, and she is his running mate. That tells you a lot about the personality of Raila.
And you see now, I wish that Kenyans would borrow from these leaders, because they are on different sides and different camps, and sometimes they come together.
Yes.
So I think the thing that we can borrow is the fact that we really don't have to take politics so personally?
Yes, in Swahili we say siasa si uadui, but of course sometimes the weaponized tribal card, the strategies that sometimes end up being detrimental, in that people get so emotionally attached.
Yeah.
People look at it, personalize it, and tribalize it. And the moment it is tribalized and personalized, we've always ended up with the losses that we've experienced, which I believe if we were to learn from the behaviors of the persona of Raila, because look at how he handled Uhuru. During Uhuru era, because from Kibaki to Uhuru, that is where we had the ICC cases through Ocampo and Ocampo investigation. And Uhuru and Ruto
Marina
actually
Ocampo.
they were serious suspects. And eventually when they combined forces and came back, they mounted a serious emotional campaign. The campaign of 2012, 2013, that was such an emotional campaign.
It was literally the sympathy that Kenyans had
There you go.
for the kind of turmoil they had gone through at the ICC.
Exactly.
Is one of the reasons why they were voted in overwhelmingly.
Yeah, whether they were voted in or not, their questions still actually were in with the Maraga.
Yes, yes.
And Maraga definitely turned.
But 2017 was the second time.
Yes.
2012 was their first term in office.
Yes.
Yes.
And Maraga overturned it. And then
but the first election after the emotional campaign that you're talking about is where they now overwhelmingly got elected.
Right.
But then now the 2017 election is what was annulled.
Yes.
By the emeritus Justice
Maraga. Yes. Well, even the one of 2012, there were serious questions before Chief Justice Willie Mutunga. Yeah, and Maraga there later found also major issues to do with the irregularities and infiltrations that led to the nullification of the election. And I think those are the epitomes of Raila's political influence and his victimization, especially when it comes to the state capture, when we on the matters of our electoral process. And I think those are some of the issues that we might need to address, because our Raila would is unifying spirit, and how he would easily let go of his own personal ambition for the national good, somehow may have covered some dark elements within our electoral process, failure to which, if we don't really look into them, because we might not be having Railas going forward, we will be shaking hands. The country may be launched back into some deep ends that, if not really reviewed now keenly, those who are riding on Raila's back have a lot of answers and questions, questions to answer, and a lot of reflections to have, especially on our electoral management. Yeah, because those irregularities and infiltrations, if they are not addressed correctly, I believe still Kenya stands at a very critical area where our democratic achievements are concerned.
But as a Justice and Freedom Party leader,
right,
what do you think is the impact of his exit from the political scene? Yes.
Well, I've received a lot of calls this morning, both local and global. I don't know whether they were responding to my eulogy messages that were posted online, but I was so surprised to receive those calls, and a number of them are condoling with me, and I have come to this space with Raila, a presence, especially the political space, and we've really not been collaborators, or neither have we been in alliance. We've somehow been on the opposite end. I've played centric approach where my philosophies, especially in our justice and freedom leadership, is concerned. We've not been to the right or to the left, because Raila's leadership approach has been quite liberal and social. I'm not saying that Ruto was conservative. Ruto was extremely on the other end, and I would associate it with things that I may not like. Actually, I balkanized both of them in the last election as choosing between a fox and a wolf, based on their economic relationship with various communities. And because either way, his association with the East and the West, still as a party leader, I felt were endangering the Kenyan economic market and exposing the Kenyan economic market to, to compradas, individuals who turn it into a client state where we reserve it for other people's merchandise, not for our own merchandise. And I had issues with those gatekeeping approach. As well as a party, we have been on the loggerhead in few instances. I think famously was the BBI, when Raila championed the BBI.
Yeah, so that's the Building Bridges Initiative.
Building Bridges Initiative.
And so then that our audience can follow.
Yes, and then Justice on the opposite. Actually, I think I pioneered I was the first political party to hold a press conference to effectively, by design, oppose BBI. The first 14 issues that were circulating online originated from Justice and Freedom Party. And thereby we, by design, petitioned the BBI, and we called it a pathless bridge. And it was a serious train. And I think you gave it to Raila. Raila said the train has left the station. Na hiyo train captain ni Raila Amolo Odinga. And captain was Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And Raila would pronounce that the train has left the station. Anasema hii train haina break. And he said the train is playing reggae. And no one could stop reggae.
Mko tayari? Na mimi nasema nobody can stop reggae.
Yeah.
So we looked at it as emerging leaders, especially where I was coming from, because I've also been very disadvantaged
he was very
because
persuasive.
of the region. Exactly, the region we are coming from. We share the same community where Raila enjoys serious fanatical following. And then as emerging leaders, definitely people would be like, you need to compete for that base. And most of the time I've told guys that you don't need to inherit a Raila, you don't need to be Raila, you just need to be yourself. And as a leader, if you consistently stand for a specific ideology or values, that's, I think, what should distinguish us. But when it comes to the persons of Raila, I think, yes, we have also shook hands. We've not taken tea as often as possible. We've not been coalition partners. We've not forged alliances in political this moment. But he has been a force to reckon with. As I speak today, yes. However,
he has shaped the entire political sphere.
Definitely.
You know, from multipartism to, from a one-party state to multipartism.
Exactly.
A lot of that can be attributed to his movement.
Yes, lately we were on the Gen Z side, leading and championing advocacy regarding the challenges that this regime of Ruto actually was taking the country through. And as Justice and Freedom Party, we were very categorical. And yes, our advocacy was to restore the people's power, the power according to the Kenyan Constitution, Article 1, subsection 2, the sovereign authority belongs to the citizen. And where I come from Luo Nyanza, where, because we are close to Ojijo Road here, this Ojijo is known as Ojijo Koteko in Luo Nyanza. And it's a famous saying, there's a famous saying, Ojijo Koteko is a nickname he got after he resisted the white men. White men, by then, through soil erosion law, were confiscating cows.
Where?
From Africans.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, those were the colonial eras, people really suffered. There used to be soil erosion law.
Confiscating cows?
Literally coming into homes, if your home had more than 3 cows, because the law was, because of soil erosion, every home should have not more than 3 cows.
What is the relationship between the cows and the soil erosion?
Well, those were now the
Because I'm trying to think about it logically, and it's not adding up. Yeah.
now those are.
So the cows will eat the grass and maybe.
Well, you've. I think some of the things that now Bill Gates is trying to, bring back through this vaccination of cows. Remember, ozone emissions.
He's actually proposed something recently, and I think the government is ruminating around it, which I think is a wrong thing.
Why people like
You want
Akilojejo Tekwa still will roll in their graves?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
because if you vaccinate women, I think it's a contraceptive.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a contraceptive that lasts in a woman's body for 8 years. Why are these things being tested in Africa? Why? Who is this that is so obsessed with controlling the population of Africa?
Well, good topic.
And which women
Good question.
were consulted?
Yes, because
Reproductive health specialists were not consulted.
yes,
And not just that, this is something that would require a referendum, in my opinion.
definitely
Because this is such a, you cannot be imposing this on a people, and I don't care how much money is involved in this.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense.
People like Ojijo Teko it is resisted and is known for Pinyowacho in the law. It means says the people. The voice of the people is the
people have
voice.
spoken.
Exactly. So he says Pinyowacho. When these guys were taking cows, Ojijo Teko insisted that the cows of Kanjira are not living. So the governor asked him, says who? And Ojijo Teko said, says the people. Apparently, the governor knew that according to the constitution, the sovereign power or sovereign authority belongs to the people. And this is why our constitution is, especially Article 88 and Article 10, I think they're very loud on public participation. Because all the authority that we are having, all the form of governance that we're having, is delegated democratically. It is but the sovereign authority belongs to the people. Yeah, so the things like the soil erosion laws that were imposed by the governor then to steal from the people. How many cows did they steal? You see, there is a central police massacre by I think this was led back in Mule Mutisia. That other generation, this is our generation, has forgotten some of those history. When the Kambas came to fight and get back their cows that were taken through soil erosion, the same law. And do you know what happened? They opened bullets on them. That is what was called Central Police Massacre.
Oh, no.
They killed Kambas in numbers who had come to get back their cows.
By the way, very few Kenyans have this history.
Exactly. Yeah, so the power of the people is very key and instrumental within our law. And I think you ask a very important question regarding the obsession, even with now the Bill Gates influence, the fertility destroyer, or the guinea pigs activities.
Did you say fertility destroyer?
Well, why would you control our population?
What is your obsession? Have you taken care of the people that you need to around you?
Look at it this way. Kenya.
And why does Africa, we were colonized.
Right.
And we need to talk about decoloniality.
Yes.
Decoloniality is where we reflect on the structures that we stand on.
Right.
The infrastructure that we stand on was set by colonialists.
Yes.
And if we are unable to interrogate what we're standing on, then we're unable to move forward.
Definitely.
And I will tell you why the systems in Africa only fatten a few. Because that's how the system was set by colonialists.
Right.
So that they can have a few right-wing people
Yes.
that will act on behalf of other governments.
Yes.
As they exploit our minerals,
Right.
exploit our natural resources.
Yes.
Come and get things from Africa the way they want.
Yes.
Get deals. You know how Africa is rich, right? So we must deconstruct
And
the infrastructure that was built by colonialists. And allow me to say this. democracy, as it is today,
Right.
democracy is a moving target.
Definitely.
And if you look at Ibrahim Traore,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sorry to use this example because, of course, he's not very popular
Mm-hmm.
because of how he got into power.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something he's doing in his nation, and things are moving.
Yes.
Yeah, the looting has gone down.
Right.
You know, development is being felt by the people.
Mm-hmm.
It's taking such a short time
Right.
to make decisions, to do things.
Right.
I will tell you, here in Kenya, I have worked. You were talking about BBI.
Right.
I was one of the few people in Kenya
Yes.
working behind BBI.
Yes.
At the time, I was working for a very serious institution.
I remember.
They do such a good job. It's called the Electoral Law and Governance Institute for Africa.
Yes.
And we were the only civil society organization in Kenya
Mm-hmm.
that partnered
Yes.
with BBI.
Right.
You know,
I remember.
the secretariat
Yes.
to break down the 9-point agenda and take
Yes.
it across Kenya. We
Yes.
actually took it to all the counties
Mm-hmm.
in Kenya, just so that Kenyans can interact with what the 9-point agenda
Which
meant.
actually were very, 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 very elaborate and timely, except I had issues on on the executive, and actually I'm the one who petitioned boundary delimitation because
That was your petition?
that was my petition.
Oh, wow.
Because boundary delimitation was, unconstitutionally structured. And then again, the frames of how they were distributing the 70 constituencies had no proper regional balance.
You know, the thing is, there was nothing wrong with BBI.
Not really.
It is just the people
Yes.
sometimes who are very polluted that will try to make sure there's an infiltration of things that Kenyans didn't want.
Exactly. And there were
And this is why
dangerous things.
it was thrown out by the High Court.
Exactly. There were dangerous things which could have had far-reaching effect. You see, politically, if you're pragmatic enough, and you'd look at the concept that was proposed by BBI. BBI
Yeah.
proposed, an executive prime minister, elected from parliament, and the cabinet also that is appointed from where? From parliament, and the parliamentary majority party was the one that was to be the prime minister. And the same parliamentary majority party was the one to appoint the executive. So you can imagine you're left with the ceremonial kind of presidency out here, and all the executive mandates are given to a majority party. And a majority party was determined by the majority members in the House. And when we looked at the formula of distribution of the constituencies, Central Kenya had too much, close to over 40 out of 70. So why would we give them such a go-ahead? And we've had issues when it comes to the communally or tribalized political influence, where we've the country has suffered a serious economic imbalance. In cases where you find some cases actually are punished because they are not pro the government, like in Luo Nyanza and the other regions who suffered serious imbalance when it comes to economic development. And those regional imbalances were due to tribal connotation.
Yeah.
So if you, again, reward these people constitutionally, imagine with now you've given them numbers forever, that they'll forever be the executive prime minister and form the executive. So in other words, other nations will still go back to the streets. The same things that we were fighting for will still it will be still the same vicious circles. But the other 7 or 8 point agenda were our agendas. Those were our ideas.
Right.
When it came to national visions, ethos in leadership, look at the vision and values of Justice and Freedom Party. And that is why, even as a party, when it comes to population policy, our position actually has been very clear, because we don't see why we should have negative population policy, whereas we have all the other ingredients scientifically that should support positive population policy. Negative is that we should not be having more babies. We should control. Positive, if I do comparison, especially even with Britain, population is close to now 100 million. Their landmass is close to 2.5, almost 3 times the landmass, the Kenyan landmass. In other words, Kenya, British will fit into Kenya almost 3 times. And Kenya, with greater landmass, with natural resources, with beautiful and favorable weather or climate, agricultural environment, with a population of right now 59 heading to 60 or thereby, projected to be 59
Almost
million.
60 million.
Yes.
Almost.
Yeah. So if you look at our population, they are twice. Our population is twice less, and their population is more in a small landmass. But guess what? The population policy is positive. The government is even employing the use of utero rental. Utero rental is very common even with our girls right now in the university. Here they rent our ladies' uterus to grow. Sorry, I'm not being racist, but to grow white babies. But when it comes to us here, we are entertaining people like Bill Gates to vaccinate women with implants. You just said 8 years. An implant that will...
First of all, medically speaking, women, and I personally talk from experience, if you are told this injection will last 3 months, that injection can last you 3 years.
Look at that.
Yes, because the bodies are different.
Right.
So this vaccine that is supposedly supposed to last for 8 years might last you...
Forever.
Could easily
make
you barren.
Yes, and you see, when it comes to population and economy, because just look globally, population and economy are synonymous. The larger the population, because population is a resource, human labor. One of the major economic growth ingredients is labor, and labor, you get labor from your population. So if you lower your population, look at China. What is their number? Even in Africa, the greatest economies, the leading economy, probably Nigeria. What's their population? 300 million?
Like 200 million.
Right now, approaching 300 million.
Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah. So as we speak, population and economic growth, those are major ingredients: labor, capital, and various other incentives that you need for economy to grow. So if you are stifling your own labor, what are you trying to tell that geographical location? Yeah, so us, especially Africa, we have been victims, especially from Luo Nyanza. We've been victims of hosting CDC. CDC African headquarters is in Kenya.
It's in Kenya.
And it is housed in Nyanza. What have they been studying to date? CDC has been studying malaria. I went to some hospitals because...
It's been studying malaria, but also if you look at the people around even that just geographical location, they're dying of
HIV and AIDS, which probably Wangari Maathai would say was manufactured in the library, in the lab. And the former South African president also, Thabo Mbeki, actually said this openly without hiding, that this thing came from the lab. Because they are all supporting indicators that confirms that it came from the lab. Only need to find out that the nearest lab is where? In the Nyanza region. And they are the same individuals who are leading with what? HIV infection. And these are where I've had issues with our type of leadership.